Okay, so we're going to do the first ledger control account together, as this one's the trickiest. So remember what a control account is. So a control account gets all the figures from the books of prime entry. So it doesn't look at the ledger accounts, so the T accounts. It gets all the information from the journals, the books of prime entry, and works out what the total balance should be for either all the customers, if it's a sales ledger control account, or all the suppliers, if it's a purchase ledger control account. And then separately, you would total up all the balances from the ledger accounts, so from the T accounts. And if those two totals match, the control account and the total T account, then that suggests it's no errors. Remember, there still could be 4 errors. So the Crawpock errors that are on the P disappear. So remember, we get left with the fun word cook. So let's have a go at doing this question. So we've got the details at the top. So this is what the purchase ledger looks like. So they've got all this information from the books of prime entry. Look, bank would have come from the cash book, discount receivable would come from the cash book, purchase date book, that's a purchase journal, etc. So the total should be 53,450 according to the control account. However, Harry has extracted a list of balances from the purchase ledger. So that's the supplier's T accounts, the ledger accounts, and found that they're total £52,020. So there's a difference. So this does not agree with the balance on the control account. The following errors have been found. So there could be errors in the control account, or there could be errors in the ledger accounts, the T accounts, the individual ones. So some of these will need to be changed if it's to do with the journals, and some of these need to be changed if it's to do with the ledger accounts, so the T accounts. So let's see what's happened. So on number 1, a purchase invoice for £845 from a supplier has been recorded in the purchase journal, but has not been posted in the supplier's ledger accounts. So 845 has not been posted in the ledger accounts. So that means it's this number that needs to change. So it's already been put in the purchase date book, so that number is fine. So number 1 doesn't go in my control account I'm going to fix. Number 1, we're going to do trade payable accounts, take away 845 because we've omitted the purchases invoice. So that's going to be useful for part B. So if we just take a quick look at part A, actually I should have mentioned we're doing a control account where the balance BD is the same as this balance BD. So some of these figures might change. So a check for £266 paid to a supplier had been returned unpaid to Harry's bank. The check was in full settlement for an invoice of £280. So that means there's been some discount. The return check has been recorded in the supplier's purchase ledger account, but has not been recorded in the control account. So it's already been taken care of in the 52,000, so that one won't change, whereas this will change. So if it's a returned check, I'm going to have a cash book for a return check. Again, on the right side. So since there's a liability, credit is going to increase the balance, debit is going to decrease it. So since it's a return check, it's going to increase the balance. So returned check for, it was 266, and the other £14 came from discount received, £14. Number 3, a debit balance of £13 has been omitted from the list of purchase ledger balances. So number 3, we have a debit balance of £13. So I'll explain at the end how we deal with that. A payment of 652 to a credit supplier has been entered in the supplier's purchase ledger account. So it's been entered in a T account, but has not been entered in the cash book. So this bank figure here should be bigger. So we should have bank, it should be the 36,820, but we need to add on that 652. So I'm not going to put this in here yet in case there's any more adjustments. I'm going to show my work now down here so the examiner can see what I'm doing. 5, a credit balance on the purchase ledger account has been overstated by £100. Now, since the control account doesn't get any information from the ledger accounts, this won't change at all. So it's £100 only affects the 52,020 pence. So the trade payable, we need to deduct 100 for the overstated in the balance. Okay, 6, credit balance of 260 on a purchase ledger account had been offset against a debit balance on a sales ledger account. No entry has been made in either control account. But the key word is offset, which means contra. And no entry has been made, and contra should reduce it. So I'm going to put it here, contra. What is 260? And number 7, the balance of a supplier account outstanding £66 was in dispute. Harry had written off the amount of supplier's purchase ledger account, so he's written it off already in here. The write-off had not been recorded in the control account. So that means a supplier says Harry owes him £66, but Harry's disputing it, so Harry's just writing it off because he says he doesn't owe it. So that means it will reduce the balance. So it's not irrecoverable debt, it's just debt written off at £66. Okay, so now we've got it all. So now it's just a case of putting these numbers across. So bank changed to this. So work that out. They called a bank, although I think you could also call it cash book. I would probably prefer cash book. And we get that number there. Discount received hasn't changed. It's £8.90. Now, just a quick note, if you prefer, this £14 here for discount received, if you want to take that away from the £8.90, you can do, as long as you write the working out down there. So instead of having discount received on the right and the left, just have it on the left as 876, whatever it would be. I prefer to have them both there because that's kind of fixing an error, if that makes sense. And purchase daybook, which we call purchase journal, which didn't change, so 52,940. Now, I promised I would explain what to do with the debit balance. So the debit balance, there should be 13 here on the debit side. Now the rule is for control accounts and customer and supplier T accounts, we keep the debit and the credit balances separately. So we can see how much we owe our suppliers and we can see how much we've accidentally overpaid. So to get the BD here by itself, I'll need CD here. I'll put a discount balance CD and it was £30. Then I will total it up in this step figure. So 91453. That's not right, I don't think. No, wait, that is right. Yeah, that's right. So that should be 91453. Take away all these numbers, and we should get 52752. And then that is our balance in figures. That's our balance CD, which becomes our balance BD is 52,752. So this becomes our other balance BD is £30. So all this means is at the end of the month, we owe our customers £52,752, but they owe us £13, maybe it's because we've overpaid. Now these extra errors here are going to help us work out what the true trade payable balance should be in part B. So it says here, here's our original purchases ledger, which is £52,020. So what we would do is we'd add on the 845 admitted invoice. We would take away the £100 for overstated, and we would take away the £13 debit balance, and hopefully we should get that number there, which would equal it.